Okay, now you use the other two pair. I'm using the first one and the last one to find x. So you have 25x equals to 10 times 15. You divide both sides by 25 to isolate x. So this is 5, this is 2, this is 1, this is 3. So x is equal to 6. Okay, that's the whole portion. Next question. Next question says, sketch the angle in the positive direction, and given that theta is the terminal side, find the values of 6 trigonometric functions for the angle. And the point is given, so it's number 14. So it's 2, negative 7. You're going to graph it here. You graph the point. You're looking for this angle because it says angle in the positive direction. Regardless of what you want, you need to, that's the theta, but if you're finding the projection on x and if you're looking for sine and cosine, you use the distance or the remaining angle from the x-axis. So here is the value of the x and this one is the value of the y. In order to find 6 trigonometric function, you're going to have sine theta, cosine theta, tan theta, and then the others, cosecant theta, secant theta, and cotan theta. So what you're going to do is you're going to use this triangle 2, 7. If this is 2, this is 7, and this is a right triangle, the third one would be, by Pythagorean theorem, is 2 squared plus 7 squared is equal to, so that's 4, that's 49, so it's 53. So that's going to be this side, the side of the Pythagorean, but a square. So if you think of like c squared, then c is equal to square root of 52. So if that measure is now square root of 53, you can just easily identify sine. Sine would be opposite, which is negative 7 over root 53. Cosine would be 2 over root 53, because that's adjacent over the hypotenuse. Tan is going to be opposite over adjacent, negative 7 over 2. Cosecant is root 53 over negative 7, which you can just say negative root 53 over 7. Secant would be root 53 over 2. And cotan would be negative 2 over 7. Okay, next question. So number 16. To do question 16, to save some time, I wrote the equation of the line, and you want to find the 6 trigonometric function for the angle theta that is terminating, or its terminal side. It's on lying on, sort of laying on that line here. So that's the line of 3x minus 4y equal to 0, and x is less than or equal to 0. I picked 2 points, 0 and negative 4. I picked negative 4 because the outcome would have been nice and it's not a fraction. So now I want to find the sine, cosine, tan, and other functions of this angle theta. So this is 4, negative 4, this is negative 3, So you can always copy that triangle out. So that would be -4 here, or just 4 here, 3 here. In order to find the third side, it would be 3 square plus 4 square is equal to that question mark square. 9 plus 16 is 25. So the question mark is the square root of 25, which is 5. So this hypotenuse is 5. So the hypotenuse here. Okay, and we always say we copy the triangle that is closest to the x-axis, if you remember the reference angle. So sine theta is equal to opposite, which is -3 over the hypotenuse. Cosine theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. That's -3 over -4, which becomes +3/4. We know negatives cancels, but also on the third quadrant tan is positive. Cosecant theta is reciprocal of sine, -5/3. Secant theta is -5/4. Cotan theta is +4/3. Okay, that's the sixth trigonometric function. Going to number 17. That's filling up a table. So for that table, you're looking for all trigonometric functions. This is cotan theta, then secant theta, and then cosecant theta. For 90 degrees, so you would just say that's a coordinate angle, so it's right here. He said we can think of a unit circle, and that would be point of 0, 1, knowing the first element is cosine, by what we sort of worked on in class, and the second one is sine. So sine of 90 is 1, cosine of 90 is 0. Tan is sine over cosine, so 1 over 0 is undefined. Cotan is cosine over sine, is 0 in this case. Secant is reciprocal of cosine, so it's going to be undefined because it's 1 over cosine. 1 over 0 is undefined. Cosecant is 1 over sine, so it's 1 over 1. The next angle is -360 degrees. So if you think about that as of going negative direction, -360 is right here. So that one is the point of 1, 0. Again, the first one is always cosine. The second one is sine. Sine is 0, cosine is 1. So 1 over 0 over 1 is 0 for tan. Cotan is 1 over 0, cosine over sine, so it's undefined. Secant is reciprocal of cosine. 1 over cosine is 1. Cosecant is 1 over sine, which is in this case. Okay, the next one is 630-degree angle. If you want to think about that, you would say if you go once, it's 360. If you go twice, it's 720, but this is 90 less than 720, so it's right here. So that point is 0, -1. Again, the first one is cosine, the second one is sine. So cosine, sine, tan is sine over cosine is undefined in this case. So cosine, so undefined, and then cotan is cosine over sine, so it's 0 over -1 is 0. Secant is reciprocal of cosine is undefined, and cosecant is reciprocal of sine that is negative. Okay, that's about this table. Going to the next question. It says identify the possible quadrants in which theta must lie under the given condition. So cosine to be positive, tan to be positive. So cosine is positive either here or here, but tan is always positive on the first quadrant, not on the fourth one. So part A is going to be just first quadrant. Part B, it says sine negative, so that would be either here or here. Cosecant negative, that means 1 over sine is also negative. So 1 over sine is negative, it could be here. So it could be quadrant 3 or quadrant 4. Either. Part C, it says cotan to be negative. Cotan is either negative here or negative here on the second or fourth quadrant. So cotan positive. So cotan is positive on the first quadrant and third quadrant. Cosine negative, so that should be this one, not that. So that's the third quadrant. So cotan is positive, cosine is negative. Okay. Number 20. Decide whether each statement is possible or not. A is not possible because outcome of sine cannot be greater than 1. B, secant is 4. If secant theta is 4, then cosine theta is 1/4, which is less than 1, so it's okay. And we said there's no restriction for tan, outcome of tan theta, so 10,000 is absolutely okay. So the only one that it's not okay is when sine theta on the first one was greater than 1. That's not possible. Okay. Number 21. Find the value of secant if cosine is -7 over 12. So secant theta is reciprocal of cosine, so that's -12 over 7. 22. If sine theta is equal to, so let's say this is theta, you can also do it on a unit circle. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. If that's sine theta, you need to find the side using Pythagorean theorem. To say sometimes I use the Pythagorean theorem off of recording. So then the question mark will be square root of 40, which is 2 root 10. Now you're going to find cosine theta. Sine theta is already given. It says also theta is in the second quadrant. So on the second quadrant, sine is positive, but cosine is negative. So cosine theta is AJ. Once you have the triangle and you know that sine is positive, cosine is negative, and tan is negative, you just write opposite over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse, and then opposite over adjacent, and then find the reciprocals to find the other. Okay, and that's all for chapter 1.